What's up, guys? Eric here from BBM Productions. Dead tired, and I want to give you guys my review and like what I thought about the fight, the UFC 305 event this weekend. Sorry, guys, I have 1 hour's worth of sleep. So, okay, guys, I didn't share all my picks. I shared the initial 5 that I really enjoyed, that I was looking out for, and the rest I shared it with a few friends here and there when I had time. And then also I didn't pick on the jiu-jitsu tournament and all that stuff this weekend, and also didn't really share who I thought would win with the rugby because I'm not a rugby analyst. I'm more an MMA fighting arts analyst, like boxing and MMA. Anyway, let's start with the rugby. We won, South Africa won 30-12 versus Australia, which was like a W4, Trickers du Plessis, etc. Then Gordon Ryan defeated Felipe Pena in Jiu-Jitsu. Gordon Ryan's like an instant W almost. Like really, there's not really anybody that can challenge him. Then Craig Jones with the crazy gender bender, like I'll say it like that, versus Gabby Garcia, giant of a woman. Jones won. It really falls into all of these LGBTQ situations everywhere. It's going on. It's so stupidly political. I'm not getting into that stuff, but it really does prove a point that for women's safety, we don't want men or women with elevated testosterone like competing against women, because it is dangerous for the women competing. It can hurt them. That's the only reason why I'm against something like that. If you want to be anything, if you want to be a plant, be a plant. I don't care. Just don't hurt children, fake children, brainwash them, or force that down my throat. I don't want to be a plant, and I don't care that you are a plant, so don't try to make me be a plant or identify as one. So let's get into the UFC, guys. So I went 75% accuracy, got 9 out of 12 W's here. Bloody Dan Hooker and Steve Erceg losing. Those two situations, yeah, gave me an L. If Gamrot won, then I would have been on the way to, I think, 83%. And if Kai lost, then I'd be just under 90%, 95, something like that. I don't remember the numbers anymore. I'm very tired, guys. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'm just going to go over the top 5 that I picked on the channel. I'm not going to go over the rest. The rest, it's on my Facebook, so I don't worry. We start with Carlos Prates versus Li Jingliang. Sad ending there with Carlos winning. That's a W for me. Via Tico, if I remember correctly. I was on the road when that happened, if you guys are wondering. Next up is Rosenstrike versus Taito Ivasa with the crazy judges situation. I'm so happy for once. Like, this is a first in the UFC. We need to make a whole video about this even. They literally took that judge and said, take a hike. Instantly. They didn't even take... It's not like usual where they say, oh, well, that's the situation. Let's move on. It was like, come here, move. And I love that, because that means we might see this more often, because there are very crazy fight cards these days. Really crazy. And it's been for years a problem, like a big problem. They need to have interchangeable judges also scoring fights. Reason why, if they get all the cards and they see this guy is way outrageous next to the other judges, they need to swap him out with one of the other judges. Maybe there should be 6 judges, and the majority wins. The other guys are out, and they swap out for the rest of the night, because clearly that guy's seeing some stuff, wrong stuff. But yeah, Rosenstrike won. I actually thought it was going to be a late TKO, but Rosenstrike is a bit of a hit or miss kind of fighter. Ty is the same, but Ty has been on a big miss for a while now. Anyway, guys, next up, Dan Hooker versus Gamrot. Gamrot lost. Dan really looked improved, and him being crazy between rounds, because, yeah, he's more my kind of guy. I'm like that as well. I enjoy it. I enjoy the blood and thunder, sharing that. But the only problem is you fight like a crazy person then, or you fight stupid and you get hit a little bit too much. It's not a good thing. That's why usually I pull myself back when I feel that part of me awaken fully. I'm like, okay, pause. You're going to lose if you overdo this. But it's sometimes fun. Next up, Kai Kara-France versus Steve Erceg. Poor Steve Erceg. I felt so bad. And guys, I can tell you guys this straight. In the first 10 seconds, now I voice noted a friend of mine, if he watches this, he's going to know. He had a fight a while ago that I told him, in the first minute or so, you need to find your distance. And the problem was, Erceg didn't get his distance. And what people misunderstand with MMA is they think that people get their distance with the kicks. When kicking distance is crazy far in comparison to just your arms. If somebody can land kicks, they can land a shot, but I really think people are overstating that. They're really overstating that. Kai found his hands by going to the body and then moving. And because of that, he found his range first. He was the first one to land because he crossed over the void. Shout out to DJ, Demetrius Johnson. He crossed over to the void better than Erceg did. And Erceg tried to retaliate, but missed every time. And that's why he was more like hesitant, kind of following Kai. He was pressuring him, but there's a difference between cutting off the cage and pressuring someone versus zombieing ahead. And he just couldn't land on him properly. I think he landed one good solid strike, and then Kai just dropped him with, I think it was a shifting left hook. Yeah. And then, I think it was a shifting left hook. I'm going to be dead honest, I'm super tired at this point. I was drinking my third coffee already, guys. It's like 5 in the morning at that point. But I remember I looked down and then I saw Steve is on the ground and Kai was just finishing him. And I was just like, no, because my accuracy is dropping by the fight. And then, guys, we move on to the big fight. The one where I made a 45-minute breakdown, which I'm going to rewatch, and I'll make a short video if it's needed on key points that I mentioned there that did play a role in the fight. For one, the grappling did, which I think I said I thought it was going to be a late TKO. Now, the reason why I thought it was going to be a late TKO is I thought the seatbelt position, which Dricus did get Izzy on, he did get him against the cage with the seatbelt position. I thought he was going to use that, trip his legs out, and just rain shots on him, left hooks and uppercuts on him. When he didn't. There was just one moment in the fight where that happened, but DDP didn't. Overall, very good win. Like, let me say it like this, guys. Izzy looked like the Izzy of old. He didn't look like the Izzy that popped up versus Strickland. He looked much faster, much more confident, and he was hitting hard. That's why when Dricus said the kicks were crazy hard, the punches were landing hard, you could see it. Like, to me, Izzy was landing more effective strikes on DDP than Strickland actually was, which is kind of crazy to think about because, again, Strickland looks like he has pillow hands, but he hits harder than it seems. If you guys go rewatch their fight, Strickland versus DDP, you can hear how hard he hits in the first few rounds when he's even jabbing. Because some jabs, he flicks it out. Other jabs, he pumps it out. That means he lands stiff on the chin. Because there's variations of the jab. Many variations, even if it looks similar. But Izzy was doing quite well. I had it essentially 2-2. Let me say it like that. Because the start of round 4, it seemed like Dricus was coming back. He was coming back, gaining ground. And then he knocked Izzy on the top of the head, right in the middle here. Now, it's kind of in line with your ear, and that's why that exact shot, I've been hit with that, and I also felt just like Izzy. You think you're not really off balance, and then when you walk, it's like, oh, what the hell's happening? And you just feel like really out of it. Not like your head's bobbing around and you're seeing stars and stuff. It's just you feel real awkward. And you don't regain your footing unless you can get away from shots, and obviously he didn't. And then Dricus, because of the wrestling, grappling, I'm going to say grappling, not wrestling, he got the back and he got the choke. Something he did in round 2 bothers me so crazy much, which I'm going to mention now. I'm not going to make another video on that part. So, let's say I'm Dricus, and this is Izzy's head, and I'm fishing for the neck. You remember, guys, he was cranking it, everything. And obviously, Izzy's going to be pushing his chin down, fighting it. So a trick that I learned in 2016 is when a guy is on the ground like this, balled up, and he's like balled up like this, and I'm trying to fish for the neck or I'm trying to land strikes. If I want them to pop their head up, here where the shoulders are on the sides, I'd grab my hand and I'd try to grab their face or throat. If I can feel their throat there, I'd decide, is my arm going to hit their armpit or shoulder? If it's not, like I can grab there easy, then I can strike. Then I'd crunch down on them and cinch this shoulder down, because I don't want them thinking while I'm fishing for this that there's space, because where there's space you can move, you can start to get out. I'll crunch down, sink my body weight down, then lift up a tiny bit and strike, and I land right on that chin to pop the head back up. And when I feel that head pop up, that's when I grab the other arm as fast as possible around the chin or just deeper around the neck. And usually it works like a charm. A great example was Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 1. Nate did this. Nate just did the chin strap. He grabbed him by the chin and then hit him to pop the head up. I have a different technique because obviously I tested it in the middle of a fight, and from there it stuck like glue. So if I ever see somebody on there, let's say I dropped them and they're defending, or I took them down and they're defending, the same situation. Either you seatbelt them and then land and grab the neck and cinch it up, or you get on the back, get the hooks in, because the hooks is better if you flatten them out, obviously, crunch down on them, you sink your weight down on you stick to them like glue, because if they can't shake you off or there's no space, they can't move. You smother them, wet blanket, and then you find neck. And I was yelling at the screen because obviously I picked DEP to win. I was yelling at the bloody screen for Drickus to do this in round 2, because he first tried to crank, because I could see, because, okay, let me get back to that. In my breakdown, the long 45-minute video, I mentioned that people said Drickus has a crazy squeeze. He's like an anaconda when he gets you. That's why people tap so quick. Even Izzy tapped quick. People said this about everybody he's tapped. Even when the Gracie Barra team that he tapped. Even those guys, people were like, why did they tap? Meanwhile, he has a crazy squeeze apparently. So I think Drickus had a lot of confidence in squeezing that. And then he didn't go for the neck fully, not thinking Izzy mentally is stronger. But anyway, guys, it was a great night of fights. UFC card 75%, everything else I was 100% on, even the rugby. But yeah, it was a good weekend, guys. Really good weekend. Watch out for more videos. I'm gonna make a video on who these guys should fight. Maybe now. Yeah, I think I'll do that and then upload through the week. 1 video a day or 2 videos a day, if I have time. So yeah, guys, have a good night and we'll talk soon. Bye.